What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This once again is Scott Porter, back for day 3 of our brand new unboxing series for HeroClix WizKids new set, Justice League Unlimited. It has not let me down over the first couple of days. This source material is some of my favorite animated produced stuff ever in the history of anything. It is so good, so well written, so well acted, so well delivered. The animation was just, it was just classic. You knew you were watching a DCAU property like right away, from jump, from the very beginning of Batman the Animated Series all the way up through Justice League Unlimited. The quality never diminished. It was just incredible. And the quality is not diminishing with this set as we've opened it over the first couple of days. We've only pulled one super rare so far. We pulled Ace from a really cool scene at the end of Season 2 of Justice League Unlimited. But this set isn't just Justice League Unlimited. We've seen stuff from Justice League. We've seen stuff from Batman Beyond. I'm waiting to see if we see anything from Batman the Animated Series like sneaking in here, because we had one of those sets and there were still pieces we were missing. There are so many characters in this run, though, that we are bound to be disappointed because somebody's going to be missing. That being said, the variety that I've pulled so far, the new addition of a teamwork mechanic that really plays off of Justice League Unlimited's smaller, bite-sized episodes, being like a 2 or 3 member team-up episode, kind of like a Brave and the Bold style format. The new team-up cards are really spicing things up as well, because I'm pulling Superman, but then there's also the opportunity to have a different team-up with pulling that Superman. So even if I'm pulling a duplicate, I'm not really pulling a duplicate because I'm earning something new. I think it's a very smart move that that they made for this Justice League Unlimited set. WizKids has been on point. All of the flavor text on all the cards is incredible. Yesterday we pulled a couple of members of the Injustice Gang from Justice League, not from Justice League Unlimited, but from Justice League, the 52 episode run that was kind of like the 2 and 3 part story arcs, a little bit bigger, a little bit darker kind of content there. And that initial team was Lex Luthor, Ultra Humanite, Shade, Grundy, Star Sapphire. We pulled Cheetah and Copperhead, who were also a part of that team. So I'm expecting them to fill that team out, which means the slots that we're going to see other characters in, it's shrinking by the minute, because I'm assuming that all of that first iteration of the Injustice Gang is going to be in this. So I'm hoping, there's so many characters I'm hoping for. There's an awesome episode called This Little Piggy, where Wonder Woman, where Cersei turns Wonder Woman into a pig, and she runs into a slaughterhouse, and she's trying to, she's fighting all the butchers in the slaughterhouse, while their Dr. Fate and Buona Beast are trying to track her down and figure out a spell, or Zatanna is trying to figure out a spell to revert her back to Wonder Woman from being a pig. Buona Beast is tracking her, and Batman ends up striking up a deal and ends up singing at the end of the episode in order to get Wonder Woman turned back into Wonder Woman from a pig. And in Justice League, they have this unrequited kind of love for each other, Batman and Wonder Woman. So it's a very special episode that ends up with Batman singing. And it's Kevin Conroy, and he's just singing. And it's just insanely good. And that's just one episode. So I'm like, is Buona Beast going to show up in this set? Are we going to get Buona Beast? You know, they have so many really crazy characters. You know, Aztec, are we going to get Aztec in this set? Are we going to get any number of these crazy characters that you don't usually see in any animated stuff, or, you know, D-list, E-list, F-list type characters, but that were in this cartoon? So I'm hoping we get some wild cards in here. I'm hoping we get some oddities, but I think the number of spots are shrinking very rapidly, especially with that Injustice Gang stuff from yesterday. So we are pressed for time. Without further ado, let's just get started. Like I said, we've only pulled one super rare. We haven't seen a prime. I don't know if they're going to be primes, because you've got this new team-up mechanic. We haven't seen a chase yet. I'm guessing that the chases are going to be Super Friends and Legion of Doom from the back of the box here. But let's see today. Oh, yes, we get wow, 3 original members in this set, in this box here. We've got Superman, who we've seen, so we'll wait to see if we have an extra team-up card for him. We have Green Lantern, who we saw in the starter set, but we haven't seen his main set version yet. we have, a different Lex Luthor. With more of his LexCorp kind of coloring there, his purple and green classic coloration. We have Hawkgirl. And we have one of those rare guys that I was talking about that became a pretty pivotal member. Is it Sir Justin, Shining Knight? Is that his name, Sir Justin? I can't remember his real name off the top of my head. But him and Vigilante became this cool little duo. You had Vigilante, voiced by Nathan Fillion, which was killer, and you had Shining Knight. And the two of them became like one of those little oddball team-ups. And they always got sent out together. You see, you know, Shining Knight's got his Pegasus, and Vigilante's got his motorcycle, but they very rarely rode by themselves. It'd be like the two of them on the horse or the two of them on the bike at the same time, which was really, really cool. All right, let's see what we have here. First of all, the Superman is the Superman that we saw a couple of days ago. So we're not going to go through that. This is day 3. So if you guys didn't see day 1 and 2, just press pause, go back, watch those first 2, come back to us here, and you'll be all caught up. I do want to see Green Lantern. So let's put Green Lantern out here. Let's take a look at him real quick. And look at his card, too. Okay, Green Lantern has Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, Soldier keywords. John Stewart, of course. He's set number 2. Has the Justice League Unlimited trait. Now, we've seen this a lot, but I'm going to read it for the first time today. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6. On a 6, remove an action token from another friendly character with the Justice League keyword that's 100 points or less. He also has a special movement power called All Aboard. Move power, Green Lantern can carry regardless of flight symbol or movement symbol, and modify speed by +1 for each carried character with JLA team ability. Move up to his speed value. Okay, so he's going to be your big time taxi. Pretty simple. The enemy below is the episode there. He's got that special movement power for his first 2. He does have telekinesis, does have barrier. His damage value is actually very low, though, for me. 65 points. That's a little bit surprising to me that he's got 2 for almost the entirety of his dial and then finally gets 3 damage on the back end. That is not the Green Lantern I was expecting, because in the cartoon, he really is high power level. He's a high power level in a way you don't usually see Green Lanterns able to deal that much damage, take that much damage. So I am a little shocked by that. Let's go with Shining Knight next. Yes, it is Sir Justin Arthur. Sir Justin Arthur. Here we go. One of his biggest, coolest episodes is where he's facing off against General Wade Eiling, who is voiced by J.K. Simmons. I'm telling you, the voice cast on this thing is insane. And Eiling has turned himself into a giant monster, and Shining Knight stands up to him as someone who is not a metahuman, who is someone who is just, you know, trying to do right for the world, which is what Eiling is saying he wants to do as well, but he's doing it in a much different way. And Sir Justin is trying to show him the honorable way to do this, the noble way to do it. And he, you know, is sacrificing himself against this superpowered, unstoppable version of Eiling. And it's a really, really poignant episode. It's all a bunch of guys who don't have powers. You know, it's Green Arrow and Speedy, it's Vigilante and Shining Knight. And it's a really cool episode. All these episodes are so great, guys. Okay, he's got Justice League, 7 Soldiers, Mystical Past, and Warrior keywords. That's awesome. Anytime you can get a 7 Soldiers keyword, I'm happy. He's got the Justice League Unlimited trait. He's got, to me, Winged Victory, Charge and Flight. That's his Pegasus that he's got there, special movement power. I would gladly offer my life to protect those that can't protect themselves. That's an exact quote from that episode I was just talking about. Special defense power with Indomitable. It's got Defend and Toughness. When an adjacent friendly character is missed by an opponent's attack, after resolutions, heal Shining Knight by 1 click. See? A lot of self-healing in this set. All right, and he's got that all the way down his dial. That's awesome. And Patriot Act. That's the name of the episode with Eiling that I was just talking about. So, man, they are so on point with this. I'm so excited. It's so awesome. But yesterday, we had a character who heals when anybody else on the board heals. So, again, Shining Knight with an opportunity. If he uses Defend and the attack misses your friendly character, you are going to heal him a click. And if that character is on the other side of the board opposing you, they're going to get a click back too. That's pretty cool how they're siphoning life like that. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you who it is. You got to go watch the video. Okay. All right. Moving on. Lex Luthor. There you go. In Justice League, Metropolis, Project Cadmus, politician, and scientist. It's interesting he doesn't have Secret Society of Supervillains because he is pretty much a part of it and takes over in the final season of Justice League Unlimited. So that's an interesting, the fact that they omitted that for him, that's a little bit odd for me. Let's see, in Justice League trait, this is awesome how it works. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6. On a 6, give an action token to an opposing character that's 100 points or less. It's the complete opposite of the Justice League Unlimited trait, the shared trait there. We have a special attack, custom-made ray technology, free. Choose one, penetrating psychic blast, precision strike, ranged combat expert, or improved targeting, hindering terrain. Lex Luthor can use the chosen power or ability this turn. Amplifying the Injustice Gang's powers, just to take them away if needed. That's a really cool thing that Lex Luthor did. So that empower outwit situation is awesome because in the show, and you see he's 50 points there, there's his dial. In the show, that's how Lex controls people. He ramps up their powers. He finds out a way to like really ramp them up, but he also basically can shut them down. Dr. Polaris at one point decides that he thinks Lex is unfit to lead and he wants to take over, and he tries to use his power against Lex, and Lex just fries his head, fries his whole brain, and shows everybody else, I implanted stuff into you to make you more powerful, sure, but I also implanted stuff into you to shut you down. So do what I say, or I'm just going to kill you. It was such a Lex Luthor move. Really cool in the show, and the fact that they use that in the flavor text, I'm telling you guys, I don't think that WizKids has ever done this good of a job of tying in source material to the set itself. I'm so stoked. I was saying yesterday, if you've never played HeroClix before, this is the set to get in on. If you watch this cartoon but you've never played, this is your entry point into just this amazing game. And you're gonna feel like you know these characters. You're gonna have watched them. It's gonna be the thing for you. Okay, Hawkgirl. Last but not least, we have not seen Shira Hall. It's kind of like the cartoon. She kind of is like, she's not a part of Justice League Unlimited for like the first few episodes, and not until Amazo shows up do you really see her again. Her whole world has been torn apart. You know, the Thanagarians came, tried to take over Earth. Anyway, she's got Justice League and Warrior keywords. She's got the Justice League Unlimited trait. She has another trait called Nth Metal Mace. When Hawkgirl hits a character with the mystical keyword, after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage, and that's after resolution. So she's dealing an extra piece of penetrating damage there. She's got Warrior's Ferocity with Charge and Flurry as a special movement power. Hawkgirl's another one that in the cartoon is just super powerful. So I'll be bummed if she doesn't have that reflected here. Yeah, see, she's got 3 damage all the way down the dial. She gets that extra piece of damage if it's against a mystical. She's got 12 movement. Her swing's pretty great there. 12 attack value. Woo, man. The Terror Beyond is the episode that they quote there. Wow, yeah, Charge and Flurry with a 12 movement, 12 attack, 3 natural damage, and if it's against the mystical, is just crushing it. Again, I'm hoping we get Shadow Thief, because Shadow Thief is like the only way that Shadow Thief could be hurt was by Hawkgirl and her mace, pretty much for the most part. I want to see that version of Shadow Thief. She came with a team-up card, though. So we did pull Green Lantern and Superman and Hawkgirl, and we only got 1 team-up card. So it looks like you can't get multiples of them in a booster. Episode team-up, Superman, Green Lantern, Dr. Fate, Aquaman, Amazo, Vixen. Wow, we haven't seen that yet, where it's more than one character. That's a whole group of characters there. If one plus listed friendly characters are on the map, Hawkgirl and the listed characters have the Mystics team ability. What? If all listed characters are on the map, when an opposing character takes damage from Mystics, remove an action token from a friendly character that was attacked this turn. After revealing forces, you may replace a game's element default card with an alternate card. You can't choose a team-up card if any characters on your starting force share a name. Everything else is the same as the card we just looked at, but that's how this team-up ability works. Holy crap. That is an insane group. And it's such a cool group because Hawkgirl and Amazo both end up in Dr. Fate's, like little pocket, base that he lives in. There's a couple other people like Green Arrow goes there sometimes and plays chess with Amazo. Amazo is really just trying to figure out how to connect with humanity. He's learned everything except like emotion, really, about how to actually be a part of something. So Amazo kind of becomes this good guy, but then removes himself from the board because he's all-powerful. It was very smart for Bruce and Dwayne to do that, to remove him kind of like that, because he's even more powerful than Superman. But the fact that you've got Green Lantern, which is obviously why, they have this whole back and forth love story. You've got Superman, you've got Dr. Fate, and Amazo and Aquaman. That's right, it's Aquaman that plays chess with them, not Green Arrow. And then you've got Vixen. Vixen, the reason she has Vixen on this card is because her and Vixen become really good friends because of this situation with Green Lantern. So they just kind of did it all right here, and that's number 11. So I don't know. I'm guessing that we saw 20 on Flash's team-up, so I'm guessing that means all of the team-up cards. It's not that Flash has 20 different team-up options. It's that's the run of how many team-up cards there are available in the set, because this one's 11, but it covers 7 characters. So, okay, very cool. Shara Hall did not let me down. Hawkgirl is incredible. Maria Canals did the voice. If you ever watch Wizard of Waverly Place, she was the mom on that. But she was so good as Hawkgirl. This show is so well acted. It's so well done. I really geek out with that stuff. I've voiced some heroes and over time, like Nightwing, and I've never. I look at this show and I'm just like, man, I would never be as good as these people. I could never be that good. Okay, let's see. The next booster we have here. Let's see if we have anything new. We have Amanda Waller, who we've seen. We have the question. That's new. That's awesome. We have, is this a generic or? Oh no, Dr. Tracy Simmons. Awesome. Okay. I'll get into why that's exciting in just a moment. And then we have the Flash that we've seen, and we have Green Lantern. But this is Flash set number 3. Okay, good. We didn't have that one yet. So Flash set number 3. We've had Flash set number 20, and this is Flash set number 3 now, who works in conjunction with the great brain robbery episode with Lex and Wally when they get their brains flipped into each other. I'm pretty sure we saw this Amanda Waller, so I'm just checking. Actually, no. This is a different Amanda Waller. She's got gray hair. Oh, this is from the epilogue episode. Okay, wow. Okay, so we've got some new stuff. We saw Green Lantern yesterday, set number 2. Okay, that's the same Green Lantern, so we won't look at him. But everybody else is new. As much as it looks like we have some duplicate figures, we don't. This is a different Amanda Waller. This is a different Flash. So I'm excited. And look, I know we're getting some re-sculpt use here, but not too much of it. And it's for very particular reasons. So this is not egregious sculpt reuse at all. I think this is, I applaud WizKids for what they're doing here. Let's look at this Flash first. Okay, now remember, it was Wally in the Flash's head, and now it's Lex in the, Wally in Lex's head, and now it's Lex in the Flash's head. So that's why you're doing that flip. Okay, the Flash. In Justice League, Speedster. Plus 10 points for the trait. The Great Brain Robbery. When the Flash would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with JLU set number 8, Lex Luthor, on click number 3. Protected against Pulse Wave. Has the Injustice League trait. Lex, you're having a hard day, running circles around the watchtower, Mach 3 punches. Yeah, can you imagine Lex Luthor with the Flash's powers and how dangerous that would be? That's exactly what happens on the watchtower, because Lex's brain ends up in Flash's body on the watchtower. And what Flash does up there, what Lex does with Flash's body is, it's a little scary. So here we go. He actually runs a little faster than 10. I expected a little bit better stats on the back here, but it's still Lex. So Lex comes out of the Flash's body and goes back into the Lex figure. Okay, that's how it works. All right, great. That's rad. That's really, really cool. So the number 3 set number figure is actually Lex in the Flash's head. That's awesome. You can kind of tell what their favorite episodes were, because they're pulling a lot from very specific episodes. Let's look at this Amanda Waller, because I thought, we got Waller, it's just going to be the same. But no, this is a much older Waller. This is from the final episode of Season 2, Epilogue. And you find that Waller is old and is kind of, Batman Beyond. Terry shows up at her house basically with a lot of questions. And I don't want to spoil anything, but he has some very particular questions. He's very upset with her. And her trait, because the world needs a Batman, explains a lot of what that conversation is about. She's got Justice League, Project Cadmus, Suicide Squad, Future, Politician, and Spy keywords. She's set number 40. Because the world needs a Batman, during Force construction, choose a friendly character of 125 points or less with the Batman family keyword. That character has the Future keyword. At the beginning of the game, choose a combat value. This game, that chosen character modifies that combat value by +1. She also has a special damage power. I might be old, but I haven't lost my edge. Leadership, Outwit, Perplex. When Amanda Waller uses leadership on a result of 6, instead of the normal effect, she may remove an action token from a friendly character anywhere on the map. Very cool. She's only 3 clicks long. She's older. 35 points, and you're getting all of those things that she can do with the Outwit, the probability control, the Perplex. She does have a little mastermind there. She's got stealth to stay protected. She is a very good support piece. And you kind of figure out that she was a big part of Terry becoming Batman Beyond. And you see that she's kind of righted a lot of her wrongs when she was with Project Cadmus, and she was an adversary of the Justice League. So I'm actually going to take this Amanda Waller and put her on the hero side. Oh yeah, these are heroes and villains, by the way, guys. Okay, Dr. Tracy Simmons. This is from a very good episode as well. This is a Booster Gold-centric episode. Mordru shows up. All the heroes are battling him. Booster Gold wants to be famous, as usual. So does Elongated Man. And they get put on crowd control. And while he's on crowd control, he meets Dr. Tracy Simmons, who has Metropolis, Star Labs, and Scientist keywords. She's at number 24. She has a trait called Gravity Inhibitor Collar. Free. Choose an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire that can use flight. Until your next turn, that character can't use flight and halves their speed value. Okay, this way, hurry, we need to save Dr. Brown is some of the flavor text there. And that Dr. Brown thing is a big part of the storyline that she has with Booster. We'll take a look at the back of her card real quick. Hopefully this means we get a Booster. She got some sidestep, some willpower, some perplex, and some outwit. Hopefully this means we see Booster. Booster is awesome. And in that episode, he ends up, Dr. Brown has a black hole forming on him. He's basically a walking black hole, which is almost more dangerous than Mordru, who everybody is fighting. And he ends up having to do this black hole thing all by himself, and nobody ever finds out. And so it's a really cool character moment for Booster throughout the course of this little 20-minute episode. It's really, really great. All right, the question. One of my favorite characters in the series. A lot of the coolest episodes have to do with him. He unmasks himself at one point, which is very cool. You see the mask come off. You see what he looks like underneath. And like I said, him and Huntress. Ooh, 31A. Uh-oh. Maybe he has a prime. Crimson Avenger looks a lot like Question. So I would guess it would be Crimson Avenger. Or it could be the Question unmasked. One of those two. All right, he's got Justice League, Detective, Martial Artist, and Reporter. Real name? Question mark. Justice League Unlimited trait, which we've seen. Question Authority is a trait. Power. If there is no D6 on this card, roll a d6 and place it on this card. Whenever a character within 6 squares in line of fire makes an attack roll, you may remove the d6 from this card and replace a die in the roll with it. Ooh, okay, so if you roll a d6 and you roll a 1, put it on this card. Somebody attacks you, give them that 1 instead of the 4 that they rolled. Very cool. Asking questions. At the end of your turn, smoke cloud at no cost, but only to generate 1 marker. So he stays in stealth probably. That's probably how you want to keep that going. Flip it over. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a team-up card at some point. We didn't get one in here, but him and Huntress would make a lot of sense for a team-up situation. Double Date. Great episode. That's the episode he's from. He comes in at 40 points. Double Date is awesome. It's when you meet Huntress for the first time. It's her in question, and then Green Arrow and Black Canary are sent to kind of track them down. So the two couples are way more alike than they thought they were, and that's the Double Date episode. It's really, really good. It has to do with an old crime boss that she's hunting down. Okay, boom, there we go. Day 3 in the books. We hit a little bit of a dry spell. We've only had 1 super rare, which means the next 2 days, hopefully we'll see a couple of super rares, maybe a chase. We all know I don't always get them, but I'm hoping it'll happen. I would love to see the Super Friends situation. We haven't seen any Ultimen. I really thought we'd be seeing the Ultimen for sure. We haven't seen any Justice Lords who are on the outside of the box, outside of Flash. So I'm hoping to see a couple more of them. But like I said, there's just a lot of characters. Probably Shadow Thief is going to be out because you've got Injustice Gang. You got a lot of these Secret Society of supervillains. We've got 2 Amanda Wallers, one from the future, which that episode, again, warrants having a different Amanda Waller because she is so different at the end of that series than she was at the beginning. So it's all warranted. I am really, really into this set. It's telling its own story, and that is rad. When you're as big of a fan of something as I am of this, it's very easy to get disappointed. I have not had an ounce of disappointment yet, and I hope you guys have not either. March 25th is going to be the pre-release for Justice League Unlimited. April 8th is going to be the actual physical release. So call your local gaming stores, your local comic shops. It is so important to just really support the brick and mortar element of our gaming and comics world. They need all the help we can get. This country is at its best when small businesses are thriving, and comic books and gaming stores and all of those things. Those are amazing, amazing aspects of small businesses for us, for nerds. I mean, we got to keep them alive. They are the lifeblood of the industry. So please call your gaming stores, your local comic book shops, and support them. I want to say thank you to WizKids for sending me this thing early. And oh man, I hope you guys are getting a lot of information from this. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I want to thank Hyper RPG Studios, who has been housing us for years on these unboxing studios now and doing just such an amazing job. Zach in the booth, just ripping it up, man. Visit them on their Twitch channel. Hyper RPG. Find them on Twitch, find them on YouTube. Both amazing tools for Hyper RPG. If you want to watch live shows or if you want to see archive stuff, they have a ton of stuff there. I want to say thank you to you guys, as always, for sticking with me and just indulging me in my overhyped nerdiness. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I will. We'll be back tomorrow for day 4, and until we are, may all your rolls be critical hits.